Hello and welcome to the channel. Peter Obi of the Labour Party has strategically positioned himself as one of the frontrunners of the February 25th election. But what happens if the Anambrarian does not win the presidential election for himself and for Igbos? Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Indigbo. What if Peter Obi does not win the 2023 presidential election? Indigbo in Nigeria owe to themselves a sincere and unemotional answer to this question before it is too late. What if Peter Obi does not win the 2023 presidential election? This is precisely the question the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, courageously confronted in a piece which he titled History Beckons and I Will Not Be Silent, Part 1. But rather than sit back and ponder over the strong possibility of Obi not emerging and the attendant implication for Indigbo, the issue was treated with sentiment driven by media frenzy and attacks. The emotional outburst that greeted Soludo's timely intervention can be summarized as an insinuation that the governor of Anambra State does not want Peter Obi to become president of Nigeria. Such outbursts remain a classic case of ad hominem, insulting and making insults against the person while ignoring the issues put forth. When people abandon the message to attack the messenger, it becomes dangerously diversionary, and this is now a rising political culture that is further alienating Indigbo from mainstream politics in Nigeria. This was the aim of those who pushed the narrative that Soludo does not want Peter Obi to become president of Nigeria and drove the media razzmatazz to an attempt to drown out the real issues contained in the erudite professor's well-thought-out treatise and advice to Peter Obi in particular and Indigbo in general. Nonetheless, truth is both eternal and sacred, though Peter Obi has managed to thrust himself forth as one of the four contenders to the office of the President of Nigeria. It is still obvious that he is the one playing catch-up and hasn't quite reached the level where he and his Labour Party can be rationally evaluated as having developed the capacity already possessed by the ruling APC and the main opposition, PDP. The capacity in question is what the two behemoth political parties, PDP and APC, gained from their inception and experience in the field since 1998. Note that APC is as old as PDP because the legacy political blocs that form the APC are as old as the PDP, and like the PDP, APC has held the office of the president, state governors, and LG chairmen. Yes, PDP and APC have produced governors, senators, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and members, State Assembly members, and local government chairmen. Labour Party has not. Sadly, Nigerians keep hearing the Labour Party and its candidate shouting at every turn, "People are the structure." This claim is not only fallacious, but also smacks of deep ignorance of party democracy, as well as how political parties function in an election. By their admission, by the time Peter Obi joined the Labour Party, the party was adjudged as not being present in up to 10% of Nigeria, particularly in the wards and polling units where voting on initial coalition take place. Labour Party, though has made some progress and inroads, evidently has not advanced beyond 30% in covering the wards and polling units in Nigeria, whereas up to 80% of the grounds needed to be covered effectively by any political party that hopes to produce the president of Nigeria. Confirmatory of this position is that days ago, an open appeal by the Labour Party for volunteers as local government ward and polling unit coordinators for the party surfaced online. So, when Soludo says that Peter Obi is not positioned or primed to win, he is right and knows what he is talking about. Peter Obi is without a doubt popular, particularly in the southern part of Nigeria. But the core north, which controls over 40% of the votes, has not heard much of Peter Obi. A few who have heard are not likely to abandon their regional strategic interest to support a Peter Obi presidency that has not shown how such interest will be protected. What is more, Obi and Labour Party are not reaching out enough or negotiating enough with the critical stakeholders. They rely on social media-generated frenzy to create the false impression that an Obi victory is already fait accompli. Ndigbo, including Soludo, genuinely want Peter Obi to win, but the question, what if Obi does not win, must not also be swept under the carpet. Unless they have completely been misled and lost their way in Nigerian politics, there are very existential conditions which Ndigbo must put in perspective while taking political decisions at this moment. These are issues that shape their very existence and impact their future. Being emotional about such a life-saving decision can only exacerbate an already bad situation and make the future bleaker, as happened to Ndigbo in 2015 and 2019 when Ohanaeze led the Igbo people to shut the door against President Muhammadu Buhari. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Recall that Ohanaeze leadership in 2014 under its former President General Shivgari Igariwe and former Ohanaeze Ndigbo Secretary General Dr. Joe Nwogu openly rejected the request by General Muhammadu Buhari to hold a meeting with the apex Igbo body. Ohanaeze's leadership refused to engage, accusing Buhari of marginalizing the Southeast as the Petroleum Trust Fund PTF chairman set up by the Sani Abacha regime. Ohanaeze sentimentally also noted they would not engage with Buhari because when Shehu Shagari was overthrown in 1983, Shagari, the number one person in that toppled civilian administration, was placed under house arrest, while Ekweme, the number two, who had no constitutional functions, was imprisoned. Ohanaeze, by taking this hard stand, inadvertently declared Buhari an enemy of Ndigbo, despite Buhari being a frontrunner and possible winner for the office of the President of Nigeria. The Igbo ethnic group thus refused to present their demands to the APC candidate, who later won and also turned his back on Ndigbo. It is an impolitic move that the Igbo people later regrettably paid for and still pay dearly for. As if that was not enough, again in 2019, Ohanaeze under Nia Nwodo as President General did not only endorse the Atiku Obi ticket of the PDP, but again refused to give Buhari an audience, despite being an incumbent president seeking re-election. Buhari was supposed to engage Ohanaeze the day he came down to Anambra State to commission Zeke's mausoleum, which he completed. Strangely, Ohanaeze PG, rather than receive Buhari as a co-host to the historic moment, was at NIC results in Enugu, endorsing Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi's ticket of the People's Democratic Party. That's the news, guys. Bye.